Instagram at the same time, and we're gonna make this thing work, baby. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Where you at, G? Yes, sir. We're here. We're live, and we are live. I'm gonna let some people come into the room before we get started on this topic today. Yeah. So we're gonna get started in a few minutes. Let people get in. We're live on YouTube as well. If you wanna join in there, we're live on YouTube. What's up, Rob? I'm gonna call you back once this live is over. Just let me. Oh, I gotta get off work. Hold on. I forgot to clock off. 1 second. I forgot to clock off work. Shoot. Let me go ahead and clock out. Gonna get this video in. I gotta get this video in. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you want to see the full video, I have some things I'm gonna pull up and stuff. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see the live video there. You actually get into. You can see everything that's gonna be on my screen and stuff like that. So yeah. What up? What up, Renee? What up, Rob? What's up? Thank y'all for coming in and joining in, because I got to talk about this crazy stuff that we're about to see, man. This is wild. Wild out here in these streets. This must be crazy. We'll play some music in the background until we get started. Yeah, so I'm going to see real quick. Let me go and make sure everything is good. Hope everybody can hear me on the YouTube. I'm really hoping everybody can hear. Almost ready, guys. Almost ready. Okay, here we go. So it's saying it's live now. Alrighty. Let's see who's in the live on Instagram. Hey, Renee, what's going on? Good to see you. Oh, I need some lotion. I am ashy. Hold up. Lord Jesus. Y'all almost caught me over here about to start a fire. These ashy hands, y'all. Like, shoot, I gotta put some lotion on. I gotta be out here like this. This is crazy. I gotta make sure. Hold up. Yeah, if you guys go to YouTube, I'm on YouTube right now live as well. I'm going to be going over this topic, Kanye West, the interview, a little bit about the Travis Scott issue with the Astroworld concert, all that stuff. So, yeah, just want to let everybody go to the YouTube if you want. You want to stay here on Instagram Live, totally fine. Yeah, so wait a few more people to get in before we get started. But yeah, I saw that video you sent me, Renee. I actually showed Autumn, and she liked it. She liked it a lot. We've been skating actually too. So yeah, we've been skating quite a bit, and she's really enjoying it. So yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, we got a few people in there. Okay. I should put the link. I'm sure you guys can find it. Go on, Tony Perks, Unpack Your Bag Podcast, all that good stuff. So I don't know. I have a few people in here, but if you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat just to make sure. Just because want to make sure that you can hear me, because last time I did this, couldn't hear me. So, yeah. Let's see who's in here. Anybody in there? No. All right, we got a few people in here. If you can hear me, I just want to make sure you can hear me, because I don't know if you can hear me through the thing or not. So what's the page for YouTube? Oh, it's Unpack Your Bag Podcast. If you type that in, it should come up right away. Like, yeah. Thanks, Renee. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I'm going to get started in it, because I don't want to keep you waiting too long. So let's just get started in the video. So we're talking about Kanye. Thanks, Renee. We're talking about Kanye West, the interview that happened that pretty much broke the entire internet. I took some takeaways from that particular interview, and a few of the key points I just want to mention really quick before we get started is he did say that, the artist Talib Kweli, he's a pretty famous artist, rapper, said he was trash compared to Common. What they do on the show is they kind of put like two MCs together and they ask the person they're interviewing, like, who is better? Who do they like more? And, he went on a rant pretty much saying how Talib Kweli was trash, blah, blah, blah. He also said that this rapper Beanie Siegel, he owes him a lot of money because he created the name Yeezy, which is like pretty much a household name now. He also talked about the Drake diss beef going on, and how they dissed each other, what happened. And he also said something that was very interesting to me. He said Big Sean is the worst person he ever signed, which thought it was weird because I thought they had a good relationship. I guess I got that from the outside looking in. I thought they did, at least. So, but let's get into it. So let's address the Big Sean thing first. I thought that mess was crazy because I like Big Sean. I'm a big fan of Big Sean. Like, don't get me wrong, like Big Sean is dope. But I just never saw that coming. Like, I didn't see why he needed to say that, but I guess he needed to for whatever reason. That's probably a conversation I would have had outside of the internet, to say the least. But I'm also not Kanye West, so I don't know. I wouldn't have that conversation. Would I have said the same thing? Like, I wouldn't have went that far. I would have probably, had the conversation with Big Sean first. Whatever I felt, whatever the issue may be. But, people are, one thing is, Kanye is crazy. That's for sure. Dude is on a whole nother level. And when I say crazy, I don't mean bad crazy. I mean, what's up, Chantal? Dude is just on a whole nother realm of not giving a fuck. Like, dude does not care at all. Oh, I'm live on YouTube right now as well, Chantal. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care at all. Like, dude is on a level that I think a lot of people wish they could be on. And I can say that for myself because it's hard to be that authentic when the consequences could be you get canceled or lose your job. Like, that mess is kind of, it's a trip to, to like be saying whatever the heck you want to say, whenever you want to say, however you want to say it, and don't matter about the consequences. Like, it's hard to like do, because you care. Like, I got money on the line of the things I say and do. I can't just come here and say anything I want, how I really feel about certain things, because, there's things I gotta be careful. I got a livelihood to keep. I got my family to take care of, and I just can't say whatever I want to say. But it's issue. Oh, okay. Thanks anyways. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll try to share it a little later. Thanks, Renee. But I don't find myself being that outspoken. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I think we all wish we can just say whatever we want to say, however we want to say it. And, to see someone who does say whatever they want to say, however they want to say it, to the average person, you could be kind of mad, because you're like, he can't just say this, or she can't just say this. And how is it that you can just talk how you want, do what you want, and it doesn't affect you? But I think when you get to that point mentally, maybe it just really doesn't affect you, like, that mess is like crazy to me, because like, there's things I can't even say yet, because, I work like a 9 to 5, and I work in an industry that, it's very frowned upon to have an opinion on certain things, a lot of things in that, at that. So I can't even say, like, some of the stuff I really want to say, I can't say yet. I mean, I probably could, to be honest. And, 10 years down the road, someone's going to try to cancel me for something. You know what I mean? Like, someone out there is going to try to cancel you for anything. You can say anything, and someone's looking for a way to cancel you some way, somehow. There's people out there that don't like you. You could be a Christian, they don't like what you say or what you believe. You could be a black man, you could be a white person, and you can just say something, and they're gonna take it and spin it and twist it and turn it, and it's just the internet is a funny and interesting place. But back to the matter at hand. So Kanye was saying that Big Sean didn't. It was the worst person he ever signed, and he was mad because. Oh, thanks, Kenny, watching the live. Thank you. He is mad because he's talking about how Big Sean kind of, didn't support him on his presidential run and, supporting Donald Trump. And I guess he kind of had a feeling towards that or some kind of issue, which I can understand. And his reasoning was like, look, I changed you guys' lives. I put you on and, I kind of like literally like changed the trajectory of your whole entire livelihood and careers. And, I would expect for you to be loyal and back me. And in that sense, like as far as the loyalty section goes, I agree. I agree in that sense of the loyalty. Like, man, like I put you on, I risked my life for you and everything. And all I ask is for the same respect in return. You don't have to agree with me, but you don't have to necessarily shut me out either. But at the same time, where Kanye West is wrong is that, maybe he shouldn't be expecting that from somebody. Just because you did something for somebody doesn't mean they owe you that. Unless it was like agreed upon that, you're doing this for a reason. They owe you, blah, blah, whatever. But that's where I disagree. Because I'm like, look, you decided to put them on. You made money. They made money. You changed their life, whatever. But to sit here and then be like, fuck you because you didn't support me anymore, it's kind of bullshit, But I also understand it because like the loyalty part, it's like you want someone to be loyal. You want your people who you are down with to be down all the way. Like right or wrong, I still love you and support you. Even if I don't agree with you, I'm still going to show you that respect, that support, And so I can understand from that point of view. Go ahead, if you just joined, go ahead and press that like button because we're going to go real deep in this one today. We're going to get deep. It's going to get active. We're going to get all the way there. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, baby. But I can understand, like, the loyalty part is where I agree. Like, if I changed your life, if I changed the trajectory of not only you, but everybody who's around you that eat, I gave you a business, I gave you a total different mindset, and I gave you finances like out of, that you don't have to work again pretty much. I would expect even me to have some loyalty, to be like, yo, like I'm gonna rock with you. I'm gonna rock with you. And that's what I think the problem for me is. Like, I can understand that part. The loyalty part, when it comes down to loyalty, that shit was foul. Like, that shit was foul. We can all just say it. Like, that part is foul. But also the expectation of someone to support you, no matter what you're doing, is also wrong too. Because you doing some stupid, crazy shit, like, how is anybody gonna be like, yeah, go, That's just how it is for me. Like, but I can understand. I can see why he's upset. I can see why he's mad. But maybe the way he went about it could have been better. But also, I mean, who are we to judge what anybody else does at this point? Like, you can air out your dirty laundry because it's your dirty laundry. Shit. I mean, like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Okay. So also, the Drake and the dissing, the beef, and where it's at now. So, news just came out that Kanye West made this video last night, and he was pretty much calling Drake to make amends. He said, let's squash the beef. Let's come out to LA, and come out to LA. We'll do a show, and we'll do it in honoring Larry Hoover, and we'll make it to where because we're trying to get him free, and we're trying to like get him out of jail and all this stuff and out of prison. So he issued this he issued a warrant to end the beef with Drake. So then, they can actually get this guy free. And Larry Hoover, he was pretty much part of this gang, and he was pretty much I think he was the founder of this gang, I believe. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up later. So Kanye West is really trying to reform this position where this guy's been in prison for well over 20 something years, and he's calling on Drake to squash the beef. Let's squash it. Come to LA. Let's promote our biggest albums of the year, because we both have the biggest albums of the year. and let's do this to commemorate Larry Hoover and try to get him out of jail. That's where it stands currently at this moment with the beef. That's where it is. I'm hoping that it's gonna happen because he said they'll perform in LA and it's supposed to be coming up like next week or something like that, really soon. So if there's tickets, I'm gonna try to get those because one, it'd be cool to see Drake and Kanye. That'd be pretty epic in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it'd be pretty dope. So yeah. Also, there was a clip that's going around of it was Kanye and Justin Bieber, Marilyn Manson. They did some kind of collab together where they did a Sunday service, and Marilyn Manson was there, and you already know how he feels. He definitely had a big negative angst for the Christian community, at least back in the day. And it looked kind of crazy because you see this black dude Kanye, and you see Justin Bieber and Marilyn Manson all like sitting together, crying, hugging, singing. It's a very, you wouldn't think you would ever see that in life. But I'll say this. Initially, I didn't agree. I thought, this is kind of crazy. Like, this dude is known to be against Christians and stuff. But then also, who am I to say what they really are in their heart? I don't know. I don't know them individually. But, who's to say? Who's to say that people didn't change? Who's to say they didn't? We always have to speculate on somebody else's stuff, but we don't ever really know what's really going on in their mind. People make judgments about me all the time. They don't really know what's going on in my mind. They don't really know the things I'm thinking about or how I really genuinely care about people. I may come across sometimes as like ass or weird or whatever, but genuinely, that's where my heart is, like honestly. So it's easy to point the finger and judge, but are you really willing to sit there and try to understand and listen? So I can understand the outrage from the Christians, from the Christian perspective, because, he was definitely like into the devil and stuff. Marilyn Manson was in the devil at some point. Good looking Charles, good looking G. But I don't know. You can't judge someone based on just, the view of what you know them by. I mean, it's better to go and have a conversation and get to know somebody to see what's really happening. You know what I mean? So that's where I stand with that. I know people probably would be like, that's ridiculous. You just being used and blah, blah, blah. But for me personally, like, look, I don't judge stuff. I look at it and try to just see it objectively. And I don't really know what's going on in their mind or in their heart. So how am I going to be the one to say that kind of stuff, and judge somebody? It's like funny. People don't want to be judged, but then judge others. So it's kind of funny. Like, don't judge, but judge others. But then it's like, as a Christian, because I'm a man, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord Savior Jesus Christ. And, Jesus came back to die for our sins. So, God's not looking at you in this lens of just you're a sinner and you're going to have punishment and die. Like, Jesus paid that debt. So if you believe in the Bible, and this is like, if you believe in this, then that's where like your judgment shouldn't be the way it is, because God's looking at you from the best version of you. So this thing is funny because I still judge people. Don't get me wrong. I'm guilty of it. I try not to, but I am. But I definitely make effort to try not to judge somebody off rip. Don't get me wrong. We make judgments all the time. You see the way someone's dressed, you'll make a judgment about what they are and what they do. How they present themselves, stuff like that. But really, like we're talking about somebody, who used to be a devil worshiper and could have converted. And I also know a guy, he's a pastor, who used to be a devil worshiper and totally changed his life around. And he talks about how evil witchcraft was and all this stuff. So, I mean, this is really deep, really big, but, I don't want to get too far into that, but yeah, so, I mean, that's my thoughts on it. Like, if he's praying with this guy, it is kind of strange. It's kind of weird. It's kind of odd, but, who knows? What if he really did change? What if he really did change? All right. Another one I want to talk about too. He had said, well, one, let's start here. I was actually taken aback seeing him smoke weed. That was kind of a trip for me. As a Christian, you get like people look at you when you say you're a Christian and they think you're like, you're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to not have any issues. And in the Bible it says that, uh, what's the scripture? It says, it pretty much, I'm gonna sum it up, but it pretty much says, all things are permitted. God permits you to do all things, but not all things are profitable. Meaning that not all things are, oh, what's up, man? What up, G? On Instagram, thank you for tuning in. It's not that all things, you can't do things. It's just things that some things are good for you and other things aren't. And, for some people, maybe smoking weed might be something that they could do, because in the Bible talks about drinking wine and stuff too. So how I look at it is like, dude, you can judge someone for smoking weed or drinking alcohol or whatever, but everybody has their thing that they're doing or that they do that nobody really knows about, that nobody really, speaks about. And we'll judge somebody based off that. But, just because I can smoke weed doesn't mean you could smoke weed. It may not be something that's good for you mentally, but maybe it is for me. Or maybe for me, having a glass of wine a day is. But for you, you might be an alcoholic. You can't. Like, it really depends on the scenario. So, like, we judge people based on all these circumstances, situations. But, are we looking at the big picture of, are these judgments necessary? And are they actually correct? Because a lot of times we might be premature on our judgments on somebody. So, yeah. So far, what are you guys thinking about this kind of content, this kind of information? Because I'm still new to doing live. This is still, how would I say, awkward. Because I'm still trying to learn to talk to the camera and talk to you guys when like nobody's here. But, we're here doing it. So I just want to know, what do you guys think of this style of content with the talking live, sharing information, and kind of trying to bring value as best I can. I do want to know. So if you are in here, leave a comment. Just if you like it, put a 1. If you don't, put a 2. Make it real simple. But let's keep going. Another thing from that interview, it was taken back. The drinking and the smoking weed thing was kind of like, that was kind of threw me off for a second, but it is what it is. And the other last thing I'm going to talk about is he was talking about Talib Kweli is trash, which I thought was kind of funny. Because, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to how they feel, I don't know if I would say that, but hold on, I gotta read some comments really quick before we keep going. So let's see. Charles, keep big up the vlog. Keep going, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it. Renee said, "You're doing well." Taylor said, "You sound like a real YouTuber." Well, thank you. That actually means a lot. I'm trying to go for the YouTuber look and sound, so trying to be a YouTuber out here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to really get it. I sound like a YouTuber. That's a thing. That's crazy. Like, I'm a YouTuber, guys. I guess I can officially say now that I sound like one. I am one. So yeah, I'm a YouTuber now. Yeah, I'm really trying to get this going and really trying to get better. I will say it is definitely not easy getting used to talking by yourself. But you get used to it. I think you get used to it. After a while, you just kind of like, whatever, have fun, enjoy yourself. Yeah. So, as I do this more and more, the content will get better. But thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words and the observation. Let's keep going. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Talib Kweli is trash. I thought that was funny because at the end of the day, you can't be mad because someone has their opinion on who is better or not. Because especially with music, it's very opinionated. It's like art. Like, you can't really say one is better than the other because all art is subjective. So you can say that Kanye is the greatest. You can say that Jay-Z is the greatest. You can say that, Prince is the greatest. But in reality they're all unique individuals who bring something to a certain demographic of people. So can't really say the greatest. Maybe you could say influential. That might be a little more realistic, but the greatest is really subjective on, what kind of music you like as a person. Because some people like jazz more and that they just gravitate towards that. Some people like rap. Some people like rock and roll and country. Like, there's so many genres. But at the end of the day, like, it's all subjective. because music is really subjective. Like certain tunes you will like in your ears and the other person next to you will hate it. And there's no reason why. There's no defined metrics on greatness when it comes to art. Like, I mean, at least maybe there are. I don't know. I don't know them personally. Maybe there are. I could be wrong. So I'll look up that later. But, there's no real, at least in my opinion, there's no real way to like actually define metrics for art. So, if it is, it's just a matter of opinion. So, yeah. Oh, I do want to ask this. I don't know who's on still. But I do want to ask, I have a debate going on right now. So the debate is this: Popeyes or KFC? Which one do you like better? Popeyes or KFC? Because I'm telling you, I like them both, and I can't choose. As a black person, how I feel as a black person, I should say Popeyes. Truly, if I'm gonna be honest, I feel as a black person, you should probably say Popeyes. I know it's politically incorrect, whatever, but I feel like you should say Popeyes. As just a regular human, no race involved, I like them both. Honestly, I mean, I like them both. Like, I like them both. I can't front. Popeyes or KFC? Which one is better? That's the question. Now, if you go in the chat, pick whatever one it is, type it in there, because I'm really curious. See, I have a debate going with my buddy, and he was like, everybody likes Popeyes better, and I'm like, I don't know, KFC is good too, but I want to see from you guys, like, what is it? Like, is it Popeyes or KFC? I know there's more chicken spots. Don't get me wrong. There's more chicken spots, but what do you like better, Popeyes or KFC? Because I feel like this is going to be one of those epic debates of the 21st century. We have a lot of things going on in the world with like mandates for vaccines and stuff, and the transgender movement, LGBTQ, and this Travis Scott thing, and all these other things that are probably really pressing. But I'm going to ask, what do you think, Popeyes or KFC? Because I'm going to eat whatever one I get more votes on today. So I really need to know. I really need to know, because I'm really I'm hungry now and I don't know what to choose. And so the more votes I get for either one, which is on my Instagram page as well, the more I'm going to get. Oh, hold on. We got something. Let's see. So we got 2 for Popeyes. I told you the black side of me was like Popeyes. I'm telling you, like, I know, like, I'm telling you, I wanted to say Popeyes too. But there's a time when KFC is good too. Okay. So Popeyes or KFC, right? So we got 2 for Popeyes. Now, whose biscuits are better? Now we got to ask that question. Whose biscuits are better? Because darn well, you eat those Popeyes biscuits, you need a bunch of water or a bunch of soda, because as soon as you bite that mess, you're going to be like, that mess is just absorbs in your mouth. I'm telling you, you need a full glass of water to eat a Popeyes biscuit. No lie. You need a full ass glass of water or milk or something to wash that bad boy down, because that mess gets stuck. I'm telling you, like, that's the one. And they're good. The biscuits are good, but they make you so damn thirsty. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, that mess is funny. That is hilarious. So those biscuits really be hidden though. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm really hungry. So I got 2 for Popeyes. Let me check the Instagram really quick. I want to see real quick. We're gonna end the Instagram live. No one's in the innings right now. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if I have any more. Oh, we got 60% Popeyes. So we got 60% so far. Oh, no. We got half and half. 5 and 5, baby. All right. I wonder if I can show you guys. Can I show you guys? So I guess, can you see that? 5 and 5 votes so far. So we got half and half. I'm really curious. So DeAndre said KFC. He said Popeyes, KFC, KFC. Oh, okay. Rob's like KFC. Okay, for sure. The homie Rob likes KFC better, which is crazy. Oh, shoot. This is like going to be one of the debates of the century. I'm telling you guys. Now it's half and half, so I can't really decide. Renee, go on the Instagram and vote too. Please tell you and Taylor to go vote on there too. I really want to get some metrics there to make sure. Yeah, because I'm gonna eat whatever it is, whatever one that is. But all right, let's get back to some real stuff. All right, so I want to also talk before I get off this live. I'm probably gonna be on here for another I'll probably be on here for another 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. But I want to hold on. Oh, I got another comment. Hold on. Says Renee, Popeye's biscuits. Taylor says neither. Really? No. I would say Popeye's biscuits though. If I had to choose between the two, Popeye's biscuits for sure. The taste is better. It's just overall just seems more real, and they're both real biscuits. But Popeye's just seems more real. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems more real to me. Seems overall better quality. But let's get into some real stuff. I want to talk about this before we get off. I got one last topic. It's not about Kanye. This is about is a little deep, okay? And I hope this brings value to you guys because this is important to me. And I've gotten asked this question numerous times, and I think I finally figured out the answer to this question. So a lot of people that know me know I'm pretty positive. I'm kind of easygoing type of guy, pretty chill for the most part, and I have a pretty optimistic outlook on life. I would say I think so for myself, but I've heard that quite often. And people always ask, like, why are you so happy? Or like, why are you like always just so positive, you know? And I know, like, you know, people that are really usually like really, really positive and happy like that tend to be secretly depressed and stuff. And, you know, or like maybe they're really struggling with depression and nobody knows it. That's not me. Just to let you know, I have my moments of depression. Yes, it's real. Very seldom, very slight, small amounts for me personally, but it does happen. So the question is, you know, how do you maintain your happiness? Like, what do you do? Why do you just have such a positive outlook on life? Why is it that when bad things happen, you just tend to gravitate towards the good things and, you know, all that kind of stuff? So here's my real answer to that I've thought about for a while, and I've kind of finally fine-tuned it. So I think the reason why people are sad or it's so easy to go in that realm because you judge yourself so much. Like, you judge yourself on stuff. And for me personally, it's not that I don't judge myself. I just don't judge myself for more than a couple minutes and it's over. So for example, say I did something wrong. I made a mistake. Say today, you know, I made a mistake. Let me think of a good one. Let me think of something that would make me really not, or somebody in the chat, give me something that would make you really not happy so I could tell you what I would do in the situation. And I'll think of some right now, but if you have anything, or if there's a question particularly that you're struggling with, shoot me, because I'll tell you what my thought process would be in that particular situation. But let's just say I made a mistake. Let's say, you know, I made a mistake parenting with my daughter. You know, I told her she could do something, and, you know, a few years later down the line, I find out that was bad advice I gave to my daughter because now she's running around being reckless or doing something I just don't agree with, right? We'll use that for now. And if you have something in the chat, let me know. I'll read it and I'll discuss it. So for me, this is how I look at the situation. This, I would say to myself, I know I'd say this in a few years. So say I'd made a decision about something what style I'm going to parent with. And, you know, it turns out that my parenting style was incorrect. It was wrong. And it just sucks. It's just not good. And it made something, you know, detrimental to my family, or I just don't like the outcome. Here's what I honestly would say to myself. I would be a little upset first. I'd honestly be like, damn, that sucks. Like, I didn't want that. But then I would say to myself this. I would say, you know, I made that decision based on the information that I had at that time. I made that decision based on the information I had at that time, which is the best decision I could have made with the information that I had. So therefore, I'm not judging myself on something that I did the best I could do. Because every day I'm trying to be a better person than I was yesterday. I'm not in competition with anybody but myself. I mean, don't get me wrong, I am to some degree, but not really. I'm really like competition with myself. So like for me, like I don't judge myself because I'm trying to do my best every single day. There's days I'm not going to do the best. There's days I'm going to have my moments where I'm just not in the best mindset. I'm short-tempered. I'm irritated. I don't want to deal with whatever's going on today. And that's the reality. But I don't judge myself on those days. I understand that this is just a bad day and it happens. And then I move on. like, that is the mindset that keeps me very positive. I just don't judge myself on the bad or really on the good. So the good, I don't put the good on the pedestal, and I don't put the bad way down below. I kind of try to keep them as close together as possible, like my emotion wise. I don't know if that makes sense. If that makes sense, can you put a 1 in the chat? I just want to make sure that this is actually resonating or it makes sense, because I don't know if this is the way I can explain it, if I need to go anywhere deeper. But did that make sense to you guys? Because that's just the way I look at it. I look at it like, look, I do the best I can do every day. There's days I make mistakes. There's days I'm not on point all the time. And it is what it is, and that's okay. But I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up over it, because I just don't see the point of keeping myself in a negative mindset. Like, what's the purpose? Like, I just logically think, like, what's the purpose of staying here and being upset about something? Either I can change it. Thank you, Vernay. Either I can change it or I can't. Either I can, I can do something about it or I can't. And something like parenting from the past, I can't do. All I can do now is learn from that and then tell somebody else what I learned so they may not do that too. But to dwell after you learn that, it's funny. I see people when they learn the lesson and then they dwell on the issue. They dwell on the issue. So I'm like, I don't understand. Like, dwelling only helps if you haven't figured out the answer. Like, if you don't know, if you have a problem and you're dwelling on what happened because you're trying to figure out the answer, I can understand. I get that. But to learn the answer and be like, okay, I shouldn't do this, but then dwell afterwards, for me personally, it doesn't make the mental health is just like, why would I waste my energy on that? Why would I keep wasting my energy on something that's not going to change anyways? Learn the lesson. Let's move forward. And I don't judge myself, and that's it. So people always ask, like, what makes you, how are you so happy? Like, how you stay positive? How are you so, like, happy-go-lucky and optimistic? It's because, look, I look at things in a glass half full, like the best possible outcome. Because everyone's going to scream at you no. The world is going to scream at you that you're dumb. The world can tell you that you're a piece of garbage. The world will tell you that you're not worth it. The world's going to tell you that this and that, all the bad stuff about yourself. But it's like, God will be telling you something totally different, like the good things in yourself, but you be listening to everybody else but God, So for me personally, like, I just look at it like that. Like, look, I did the best I could do based on the information I had at that moment, and that's it. And I learned the lesson, and then I move on. I don't tend to dwell. And I'm not saying I haven't dwelled before. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened to me before, but there is, at this point, it rarely happens. It rarely happens to me. So people always ask, like, what makes you so positive? I just don't judge myself on the bad. I just don't judge myself that hard. I judge for a second. Damn, I shouldn't have done that. Damn, that sucks. Why'd I do that? Shit. What I'm supposed to do next time? All right, if I come across this, who can I help? Tell them this. All right. Done. Like, that's my mind. So I hope that makes sense, because that's the way I understand it and I see it. And I'm not saying there's things that are super tragic that, it's really hard to be positive in, like, a death or something like that, or, something really tragic happening to a loved one or to yourself. I understand there's these things that are out of our control that there's really you don't see any good in them, like stuff like that. I understand. But also, even in that regard, somebody passed away. I'm hoping that they're going to see the Lord. I know that they're going to be, I'm hoping that they are going to be in a better place. And that's how I look at stuff. That's just honestly how I do. And if you don't know how to do that, you got to practice thinking positively. Like, when shit goes wrong, and if you've been geared your whole life to think negatively, you got to break that habit. It's like a habit. You've conditioned your brain to think in a cycle of negativity. And the reason why it's so hard to break is because it's comfortable. Because you do things people tend to do things that are more comfortable than anything else. Like, your brain is going to go the most comfortable route. So if you've been, like, you see this in, like, people who've been abused or grew up abused, and they go into relationships and they get abused. And you wonder, like, why are you with this person? Or why did you stay with them? Or why are you with them still? And it's like, since they were abused and the person that they're with is abusing them probably in the same manner or something that is familiar with them, they'll tend to stay because they're comfortable, because they know what to expect. So even if you're negative thoughts, you may know what to expect. Like your brain is conditioned to think this way, and it feels good to think this way. But you have to break that habit. And how you break that habit is constantly putting in positive things into your ear. Listening to positive affirmations, like really thinking about positive things in your life, thinking about the good things of your life. Like realizing that being born today, it's like the odds are like 4 trillion into 1 you'd be born. Like that's a blessing. Like that is a crazy, like you have a better chance of hitting the lottery, like the Mega Million, the top tier amount of money you could ever make in the lottery 7 times in your life. You have better chance of that than you would be being born today. So like you got to look at it like from a positive perspective. And like if you struggle with that, you got to keep people that are positive in your ear. You got to like talk to people that are positive, talk to people that are going to uplift you, talk to people that are going to, be optimistic with you and not just shit on you. And not to say like, they're not saying they're going to be positive and not be realistic, because I'm still realistic about this stuff, but I'm also looking at it like this can also be the potential where I can go. So I know that was kind of a rant. My bad. I kind of got passionate there for a minute. Sorry guys, that's just stuff that's really important to me. This stuff is like, for me, it's life changing. Like people ask why, but that's really the reason why. I've been conditioned to think positively. Like the cards I was dealt when I was raised weren't the best, but I made the best out of what I was dealt. Damn, that's a quote. Well, that's a good quote. That's a good quote. No, but real talk. Like I made the best out of it. I decided to think differently. Like that's just me. That's what I'm going to do. And anybody who can try to tell me otherwise, which is fine, but I'm probably never going to change that part of my life. Like I'm always going to find out, okay, how can this be good? How can this work for me? How can this be better? Like that's just how it is. So if you wonder and you struggle and you wonder why, I'm telling you, these are my keys onto why I'm so happy and why I'm so positive. I've had people die. I've been in motorcycle accidents. There's been so much stuff in my life that are tragic, but I found the good in the tragic. And like that's the key. Finding the good in the bad. Finding those golden nuggets and the things that you're struggling with. Like that really is where it is. Finding those good pieces that come out of these trying situations. Like that's like, I don't want to get emotional because there's like thinking about this is like a lot of stuff. But when you come from crazy stuff, it could be my way of just coping with life. It could be my way of coping with the things I had to deal with that were really difficult, that pushed me to the edge of my sanity. But for me personally, like I don't have that many bad days. I don't. And I really hope that I can help somebody by not having a bad day. Like I really hope that I can talk to somebody and encourage somebody to let them think differently about a situation. Because that's very important to me. It's very important to me to like be a positive influence in the world, because the world so many times will shut you down and tell you how shitty you are and how not good you are and how you don't deserve it and how you're not worth it and how you can't amount to it, how nobody else like you did it and how you are wrong. And like, fuck that shit. And we got one life, bruh. We got one time. Like, dude, make the most of this shit. Like, go. Like, I don't have time to sit here and be negative about some shit. I don't got time for that. Fuck that. Nah, I ain't even gonna talk about that. Nah, like real talk. Like, if someone comes to a situation, they're really like down, I'm gonna hear them out. But I'm going to start immediately feeding them positive. Like, I'm going to start immediately being optimistic. Like, how are we going to get through this? How are we going to look at this at a different lens? Like, that's just me, and I'm always going to be that way. To the day I die, I'm going to be that way. And I don't want to have to go through anything more tragic anymore in my life. But, there's good and bad in the earth. There's good and bad in the world. And But that's just something I do personally. I really, people are like, oh, you're not realistic. I am realistic. I understand, the reality of a situation, but I also know how to look at it half glass full. So, yeah, I mean, that's just something that really, for me is important. And that's something I'm always going to be. And whether I give you godly advice or straight advice, my endeavor is to encourage you, because that's what God always does for me. So, I mean, I'm never going to be that guy to shut you down and make you feel less than. And if I ever did in the past anybody, I apologize. It was never my intentions. It was never my intentions to be that way. But I am learning and growing into this as well. And my endeavor is always to be a positive person and, at least a good influence on somebody. Because I never want to go and, Lord willing, I go to heaven and he's like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? But it's just something I'm really passionate about, like really uplifting people. Because, like, we need that. Like, we are in so many things that happen to us, to happen to people, from all walks of life, from all different races, and it's like, damn, like, the world is always shitting on people. But let's, like, where are we at? People that need to stand up and be like, let's go, let's do this. You can do this. Like, we need that. We need that. Like, I'm not here to sit there and down talk you. Like, I'm here to uplift you, bruh. I'm here to uplift you, sis. Like, that's how I feel about it. And that's what it's always going to be. So you want to know why I'm so positive? Because I care. Because I care and I want to see the best for the people around me, the people I don't know. Because if I feel like if I can influence anybody to be better, that's one extra problem we don't have to deal with. That person can go make a difference in their community. I can make a difference in my community. Like, by just being a better person, uplifting somebody, showing the goodness in your heart, caring about somebody. That mess is real. So, yeah, I didn't even think I was going to go here, to be honest. But that's just, for me, man, that is like my heart, 100%. That's where my heart is. Like, I care about people. I love people. I'm a person, and I wish. And you know what I always think, too? You know what I really think, too? Here's another thing. Last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to get off in a second. I really hold this to my heart. Like, if someone's in a bad space, I always think, like, man, if I was in their shoes, I would want someone to do this for me. I'd want someone to help me in this way. I'd want someone to be there for me, So that's how it is for me. Like, I'm like, man, I just really, like, believe that. I really believe that. Like, man, be the person that you needed. Like, you're so mad that you didn't have it, but then you can be the person that you needed. You know what I mean? Like, you can be the person that you needed. You can be the person. If you see yourself in somebody else, you can be that person that you needed at that time. So, like, let's do better and let's work together, man. Because I'm always going to be this way. At least, that's how I feel now. I don't plan on changing that part. So, yeah, I just, whoever's listening, thank you guys so much. Like I said, this was totally off topic, totally, totally segued into a total different realm, but I feel like this is what it was supposed to be. And I'm very passionate about these kind of discussions and talks. And, if you are struggling, man, if you hit me up, I promise you I'm going to give you an encouraging word. I'm going to do my best. If you ever need any kind of encouraging words or any kind of uplifting or anything, just to be a soundboard, just to let it out, like, shoot, call me. I think people in the chat, I think you have my number, but call me, hit me up. Like, shoot, I care about so many people. And I really just want us to succeed and be better, and just be better as a people in general. Not race, like, just people in general. Like, I want us to be better, and I really want us to be happier and to see how great life could be. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Like, that's all I got for today. Again, I do, excuse me for segueing so far from the title. But this felt right. This felt right. So, yeah, thank y'all so much. Like, thank you. Like, before I go, I got a thumbs down. I got a thumbs down. What's up? I think it's like maybe the second time I got a dislike. So interesting. Someone said clickbait. Well, it wasn't clickbait. If you go back to the beginning of the video, I was talking about the stuff that needed to be on here, and the title. But we kind of segue. So if you guys like this stuff, if you guys like this style of content, I'm gonna start doing this more often. I really enjoy going live. It's better to interact with people, and just see the back and forth. And I'm really liking this better. So I definitely want to start doing this more often and just share the things I've learned with you guys that really help me, and vice versa. I want to learn from you guys too. Like, what if the things you've learned that can help me? It's like, let's share this information. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. If this is something you really are into, especially about like diving into self and learning about yourself. If that's something you're really into, I'm gonna have a lot more discussions about that as well. So hit the subscribe button, and if you like it, hit that like button, please. And thank y'all so much for taking this time to share with me and to be a part of this process of growth. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, and I appreciate you all. And until the next time, which I'll probably be seeing you guys tomorrow around this time. I'm going live again. So set your calendars tomorrow about 5 o'clock, maybe 5 or 6. I'll double check. We're going to be going live. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Until next time, peace, love, and hair grease. Talk to y'all later.